Here's what I know is true. Most weight loss plans are one size fits all. So frustrating. They don't take into account each person's individual needs, which could mean dietary restrictions, medical issues, or other personal needs. That's why you're going to love Noom. It's built for your psychology and your biology, meeting you where you are. Noom's personalized programs feel more sustainable than any other, more restrictive weight loss programs. And also, it doesn't shame you when you choose to treat yourself, and that's important. I like this company because it's got a psychology and biology-based approach and a super easy app to use with lots of great features, including daily lessons, coaching, and flexibility. I think it's your time to start. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit Noom.com for more information. Here's the thing, it's kind of gross out. It's freezing. And even those of us that embrace the chilly weather, which is of course not me, we need something to break up long winter nights. Something that I love to do is treat myself to a little something. So I like to go and I like to shop online. And one of my favorite sites to go to is Quince, because you can treat yourself to everyday luxury, but at an affordable price. Something that everyone needs in their closet. In my opinion, the Quince's iconic Mongolian cashmere sweaters are a must-have, which only start at $50. And if you really want to up the luxe factor, you can check out their Italian leather bags. You got to get the tote bag. So whatever you're looking for, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. And they can do that by partnering directly with top factories and cutting the cost of the middleman, passing the savings on to you. And of course, they use premium fabrics and finishes for that luxury feel. So give yourself the luxury you deserve with Quince. Go to quince.com/Kate Casey for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Kate Casey to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Kate Casey.
The amazing Kate Casey.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with Kate Casey. I hope that you had a great weekend. I've got a bunch of great episodes for you this week. I hope that you listened to the What to Watch episode yesterday. Lots in store for you. But I got to say, today's episode, I'm starting out with a bang. I've got great guests. My guests are none other than Donnie Wahlberg and Jenny McCarthy-Wahlberg. They are co-hosts of Very Scary Lovers. It's a thrilling 1-hour spinoff of Very Scary People, which Donnie also hosts. They've got a shared passion for true crime storytelling. I should know because I text them all the time about things that they should watch. They like something that's a little dark and twisted. Jenny is definitely somebody who likes to kind of pick away at somebody that's featured in a documentary or a reality show. She's kind of just like us. Like, what is the story with this person? What is the backstory? And I think that's why she and I were both completely fascinated by the story they feature in the 1-hour spinoff. It's a story of Benjamin and Erica Sifrit, also known as the Thrill Kill couple. This couple was only 20 years old when they committed their murder. Imagine Erica. She's got curly hair. She is a basketball player. She has parents that are successful, but they're completely obsessed with one another to the point where they leave her out. And they're also intense. They want her to have perfect grades and be a perfect person. So it's kind of setting the grounds for somebody who doesn't really have a strong sense of self and can be easily convinced of things. So she meets BJ Sifrit, and they're at a bar, and they're both 20, and he's a compelling character. He is a Navy SEAL, pretty successful at a young age, and they are just completely obsessed with one another. Here's what we do know. On Friday, May 24th, 2002, Martha Crutchley and her boyfriend Joshua Ford drove from Virginia to Ocean City, Maryland for the Memorial Day weekend. Erica and her husband BJ were also vacationing in Ocean City over that holiday weekend. On Saturday night, May 25th, 2002, the Sifrits met the other couple on a bus on their way to this popular Ocean City nightclub called Secrets. The Sifrits did not have the exact change for the fare, so the other couple offered to pay the Sifrits' fare if they would buy them a drink when they arrived at the club. So the foursome spent the rest of the evening together at Secrets. Apparently, they go back to the Sifrits' condominium. What happened in the early hour morning following that night is unknown, but police do know this. At 3 o'clock a.m. on Sunday, the following, so that morning, at 3 o'clock, Erica called 911 claiming that people she did not know were in her condominium unit and she could not find her purse. She was, quote, afraid I'm going to have a robbery here. So the call abruptly ends and no one is dispatched to the condominium. On Tuesday, May 28th, one of Miss Crutchley's coworkers notified the Fairfax City Police that she had failed to show up at work following the Memorial Day weekend. Fairfax City Police contacted Ocean City Police, who found Miss Crutchley's car outside the condominium where she and Mr. Ford were staying for the weekend. So the police find the couple's belongings left in the condominium as if they had just stepped out. So concerned about their welfare, the police begin to search actively for them. So 3 days later, on the 31st, May 31st of 2002, around midnight, the Ocean City Police Department responds to an alarm call from a closed-for-the-night Hooters restaurant and bar merchandise store on 122nd Street in Ocean City. And what they find is Erica and BJ loading Hooters merchandise into their Cherokee. They were placed in handcuffs, and upon searching the couple, the police find a 9mm handgun and knife on BJ and a fully loaded Magnum revolver tucked into Erica's blue jeans in the small of her back. And they also found a knife found on Erica. And then as they were discovering what was in the car, they find ski masks, flex cuffs, and tape. So they're arrested and charged with burglary. And at the scene of the burglary, Erica complains to the officers that she's got anxiety problems and she needs her Xanax and Paxil from her bag. So one of the officers looks in the purse for the pills and only finds one type of pill inside this brown pouch, but continues to look for the other pill inside of a red pouch because he notices medicine bottles. And when the officer did not find the second type of pill, he goes into the back of the purse, and that's where he discovers shell casings and one live round, and also identification cards of Mr. Ford and Miss Crutchley. So fearing for the safety of the other couple, they order an immediate search of the Sifrit's condominium. And that's where they realized that some sort of crime happened. Now, investigators believe that after retreating to a bathroom, being forced to go into a bath, like running upstairs into a bathroom that they locked, Mr. Ford was fatally shot 4 times with Erica's gun through the door. Now, she was also killed. They believe she was stabbed, but the official cause of death could not be determined from her remains because the bodies were dismembered and disposed of in a grocery store dumpster in Rehoboth, Delaware. So eventually, they go to trial. And in March of 2010, Benjamin Sifrit files for divorce, which is granted in August of 2010. They file numerous appeals. They're both found guilty. And he will not be eligible for parole until 2030. And she will not be eligible for parole until 2024. So it's a wild story. It's a wild series, obviously. And I was so excited to talk to them more about it. We just love talking about why is this so interesting? How did this go south? What's going on? So here's my interview with Donnie and Jenny. Well, looky here. What do I have? The Wahlbergs.
We're back because we love you, Kate Casey.
That's right.
Let's talk for one small second about your love for Formula One.
You started it all.
I know.
Casey, she always brings the curveballs.
Are we happy about Formula One? Are you guys totally sucked in? Do you want to be like a team owner? What's happening?
We need to give them the backstory. So you got to listen. So basically, Kate, I was like, what should we watch? And she texted us. I literally was sitting on the toilet peeing going, me and Donnie need something to watch right now. And she's like, Formula One. I was like, okay. So I went in the other room. I go, Donnie, we got to watch Formula One. He was like, all right. We became so hooked. I had no idea that it was going to replace his love of NFL.
Wow.
But that's how much he became an obsessed
everything
fan.
I traveled the world a lot, excuse me, when I was younger. So I was very familiar with Formula One. I wasn't like a diehard, but it's hard to follow European sports. Yeah. Eurocentric sports. It's not a European sport, but I like Premiership soccer.
Okay.
I used to follow cricket when I'd be in England, cricket would be on TV, so I'd watch. But Formula One, I'd be like, oh my God, who's this Michael Schumacher guy? Who's this Lewis Hamilton guy? Who's this Ayrton Senna? So I would always know about the sport, but we could never really follow it in the US. It was harder to. Mm-hmm. And then, but I was kind of kept an eye on it from afar.
Okay.
And then when you mentioned the Netflix series, it was like I had the most insane access to the sport ever. And I've never been the same.
Never. We went to Formula One in Vegas, and he got to meet his hero,
Max Verstappen. I wouldn't say my hero. He's just my favorite driver, of course.
But we were so giddy. So I was like, Donnie, this is what it feels like to be a blockhead that wants to meet you. Because we got there 2 days early to like walk around, circle to make sure we would be at the spot when Max opens the door so we can be like, yo. And we got the picture. We got the
crazy. Yeah. Well, we also sat with Christian Horner for 45 minutes. And that was like being in an episode of Drive to Survive.
Without question.
It was literally like, he was so great and so gracious and shared so much stuff that, you know, was really fun. And of course, his wife is in the Spice Girls and I'm a new kid. And so we talked about the potential of our bands uniting one day and touring together. And we just talked about everything.
He was so cool.
So cool. And Max was great. And the whole experience was incredible. But I really felt like I was at Super Bowl. I felt giddy and nervous. Like Jenny, I don't know why she asked me, but the day before, she was like, you might meet Max. What are you going to say? And I was like, that's not something I would ever think about, meeting someone. She was like, what are you going to say? And I was like, I don't know. And then for 24 hours, that's all I thought about. Like, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? And usually I always introduce myself and say my name, even to people I've met. Like I bumped into Cedric the Entertainer, who I've met 500 times about a few weeks ago. And I said, hey, Donnie Wahlberg. He said, come on, man, I know who you are.
Yeah.
And, you know, and of course, when Max came, I didn't introduce myself. I didn't say my name. I just was like, hey, man, I'm a huge fan. Fortunately,
did he know who he was? Did he know who you were?
He knew because he had already agreed to say hello to me. Yeah, he had already said, but it doesn't matter. I wasn't myself is the point. I always introduce myself, like I said, even if I've met someone.
He was a giddy
But I
teenager.
did introduce Jenny. I did say, this is my wife, Jenny.
I got to shake his hand.
Yeah.
But for any women listening, that if you haven't watched Netflix Formula One, it's a great one to watch with your partner. Like Kate Casey said, she was like, it is the best co-viewing show because it's got the drama of like housewives, but like the masculine part for... You know, the men. It's great.
You nailed it so perfect, Kate, that to this day, like we'll finish watching something and then like we'll go do our business, or I'll come home from filming, or she'll come home from filming Masked Singer, and we'll sit in the room and go, all right, text Kate Casey and find out what we're watching.
Well,
like,
I think I have another one
that's
for
our
you.
life now.
I have another one for you.
What?
6 Nations on Netflix is about rugby, and it's the European rugby teams.
Great. Love it.
You sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, then you're charged month after month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not using them. In fact, 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. Thanks to Rocket Money, you can see all your subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones you're not using anymore. Now, boom, you're saving more money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Wondery today. That's rocketmoney.com/Wondery. rocketmoney.com/Wondery.
Behind every BP fill-up, thousands of people across America go to work every day. People producing energy offshore. People turning it into products at our refineries. People doing R&D to make products that are better for your engine. People trading and shipping fuels to their destinations. And the people who help you at one of BP's growing family of retail stations. They're part of the more than 300,000 jobs BP supports across the country. Learn more at bp.com/investing in America.
What brings us here today is you guys have a new show that you're co-hosting, and it's about true crime. And you fools know that I love a true crime series. So you're like, ding-a-ling-ding, we got to go tell Kate about this. Yeah. And I got to tell you something, I got sucked in. Now, first of all, the couple in the episode, the first episode I watched, the woman is from Pennsylvania, which shocked me because not only do I feel like I know every true crime case that's ever been on television, I'm originally from Pennsylvania. And then I was thinking to myself, when I watch true crime series, I feel like, you know how in pageants, there are certain states that always win pageants?
Yes.
There are certain, like true crime, there are certain states, there are a bunch of killers. California, Texas, Florida.
Yeah.
Sometimes New York, but never Pennsylvania. So that one really threw me for a loop. And I had never heard of it before.
And the Pacific Northwest too, by the way. The Pacific Northwest has their share as well.
Yes. So this first case kind of threw me for a loop, and we were going to talk about that for a minute. But before that, how did you get this opportunity to co-host something together? Because you're truly some of the most codependent people I've ever met in my life.
We are.
Yes.
Look at the zoom in. The camera zoomed in on us.
You do not even walk down a hallway without groping each other. You FaceTime each other to fall asleep when you're not in the same town together.
It's true.
Yeah.
He's got a very successful show called Very Scary People. And it's on every Sunday?
Yeah, we're in the middle of season 6. We're actually going to have the season 6 finale preceding Very Scary Lovers. So Very Scary Lovers will air after the season finale Sunday.
So it's just a special right now. The hope is to have it roll off into a series, which I think would be great because Very Scary Lovers, now that there were so many couples. There's a plethora of couples. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I found the psychology behind that so fascinating because usually there's one kind of sane person in every relationship. You have the one wild person. It's either the wife that's like, let's party, let's go. You know what I mean? The husband's like, calm down, sweetheart. But to have two people that come together without any voice of reason, I find fascinating.
Well, especially with this case was insane. So you've got a Navy SEAL candidate or graduate. Well,
with top honor. Could have been top honor.
I used to live across the street from the Navy SEAL base in Virginia Beach. So I've met a couple of them and they're interesting people. And the fact that he had entered so young and had passed and become, I believe it was like an honor position. Mm-hmm. That young is so unusual. The fact that they met when they were 20 years old and she was an honor student and got roped into this was surprising. But do you think that the origin story of having parents that were so controlling and ensuring that she was perfect in everything she did kind of set her up for this downfall? I
have to think it's a little bit of environment and also some chemistry. You know what I mean? Because the thing that shocked me was Donnie and I always talk about role modeling for our kids. Like when we first started dating, we didn't want to kiss. I didn't want to kiss in front of the kids.
She didn't.
I didn't. And because I'd be like, no, I don't want to hurt their feelings. He's like, no. We need to model what a loving relationship looks like because we both come from dysfunctional families. Yeah. I was like, you're right. So then we started, and it worked because now our kids are mimicking us identical with their partners.
They're very great with their
wonderful.
Their partners.
But it didn't work out too well for this couple because, for the daughter, because what you see in the story is the mom and dad reminded me of us. They were like inseparable, totally in love. But they were perfectionists. They wanted their daughter to be a perfect student, a perfect athlete. And it looks like she did that. She tried so hard to make them happy, but it didn't work.
But also, it was like a little bit Nancy and Ronald Reagan, where they almost were so into each other, the parents, that they didn't include her in things. She always felt like an outsider. So then...
Yeah. And it was definitely weird, like when the dad did include her, like his thing with her was to like take her to Hooters when she was
right. Her like reward was Hooters.
Like, yeah, you did great in your grades. Let's go to Hooters. Like, just really bizarre. And he would give her Hooters merch and swag for gifts and like rewards. And it was just, it was really, it's like, I don't want to compare that little detail to like Jeffrey Dahmer and his dad. Like they would pick up roadkill and like analyze it and do all this weird stuff. But it's unusual, I would say. That was very unusual. And so where she wasn't getting a lot of attention, she was very driven to sort of earn their respect or admiration or attention. what she was given was very unusual. The attention and time she was given was not very typical. It also just was sort of fitting into what made Dad happy, right? Mm-hmm. Dad was the one who liked going to Hooters. So he just took her along, and you can see it's different. But when she's an adult now, or a young adult, and meets BJ, now she's going along with things to make him happy, right? Yeah. She went from going to Hooters to make Dad happy to like going to do shoplifting with her husband to keep him happy and to keep, to stay worthy of his affection and attention.
And he exhibited signs of sociopathy because the fact that he was with other members of the SEALs and they were chiding him, go bite the head off of a bird, and he actually caught the bird and would have done it. I mean, yeah. I'm sure, by the way, that the military knew that there were signs of somebody who was definitely not capable of having a position of power. But thankfully, they let him go. But unfortunately, I think it made him spiral. Like his identity was lost. So you have two people that have no sense of identity and probably both have underlying mental health issues. Do you think that they would have murdered anyone else if they had not met one another?
You know what? I thought about that too. And I think he might have. Yeah. I think he might have. Because like you said, he showed signs by wanting to rip off that pigeon's head and just the intensity of him. But I don't know if she would. I think she was so desperate to belong and have love that I think that's what drove her ultimately.
You know what was the weirdest part of it? The fact that she was in her room scrapbooking all the time. Right? As soon as they said that, I was like, yowza, that is weird.
Well, they also made a business of it. I'm like, how do you make a business of scrapbooking?
I don't know. I know a lot of fans like to scrapbook, and I'm not really at all concerned that they would ever try to kill me or do anything like that. They're all really cool.
It doesn't go with
it's really fun. It just, it was a really, what a juxtaposition, I guess, is the word. Like you're like chopping bodies up in one room and scrapbooking in the next room. It's really bizarre.
So what is going to haunt you most about this one case?
My son is currently dating, and
oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
This could be a headline somewhere.
And
She said that he FaceTime sleeps like we do. And it was everywhere.
Well, that's modeling.
That story was everywhere.
I know.
It's really sweet, but it was also
he wasn't
everywhere.
very happy about it.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy if you say something.
I'm just going to say.
But you know what? To your credit as a mom, like he's so sweet. He does talk to you about everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
totally. And my biggest fear, the nightmare I have coming out of the story was how, my son is so vulnerable. Like he's a vulnerable, loving, sweet spirit. I would hate to have any introduction of evil into his life. You know what I mean?
Well, that's not going to happen because you're going to go, what's your name? Where'd you go to school? What's your social security number?
True that.
Yeah.
I think her parents were so checked out. They just didn't even pay attention to her. That was when it first, I think, began to fall through the cracks.
It's also crazy though, because if you think again, look at their background. He's a Navy SEAL, like top tier in his class, right? And she's, a star in her right, academically and everything. And on paper, if you look at them, they're a match made in heaven. For the parents who might be checked out, they probably were like, "We did great. She married a Navy SEAL.
They're like,
she's in good hands." Yep. It's like they. On paper and from afar, it seems like what couple could be better set up for success than these two? And they were, all of that drive and ability and commitment that they have to being successful in achieving their goals. If they had applied that in a different way, they could have done anything. It could have been scrapbook stores at every strip mall across America, right?
True.
And instead, they put their energy into the most outrageous and awful thing you could ever imagine. It's stunning.
I kept thinking about how funny the outtakes are on this show. Can you please put a special episode out? Because I could just see you like, oh my, can you believe this happened? Can you believe these two? How many episodes are there? And what cases do you really think are going to be the ones that jump out at us most?
You want me to say?
Go ahead.
Well, so here's what happened, Kate. We were doing Very Scary People, and I was, yes.
His true crime show.
But it's our production company partnered with Pilgrim Media and produced it together. So so Jenny's, she's a partner in the whole process. So we're making Very Scary People. And for years I've been like, we should do this, we should do that, we should do this, and we should do Very Scary Housewives for Jenny. And like, it's not about the TV housewives, but like a housewife who may have snapped and done something awful.
For sure.
And,
absolutely.
And all this, I survived Very Scary People, or surviving Very Scary People, right? Someone who survived infamous serial killer, right? There are tons of people out there, and we focused on some this year on Very Scary People. So Very Scary Lovers, we kept finding these couples would pop up in we've done some on Very Scary People. We did Ken and Barbie killers and stuff. So these opportunities to do couples kept popping up, and we had sort of talked about Jenny doing a spinoff of Very Scary People, and it was like, why don't we do one together? Yeah. And it was like, great. And Very Scary Lovers just was a no-brainer. We're doing one episode. It's a special focusing on this one couple. And but we had 20 to choose from. We literally had 20 couples. And there are more. Yeah. And there were some, we chose this one because it just seemed like the right story to tell right now. But there are so many different stories with so many different dynamics. Sometimes it's like someone sort of dragged along unwillingly, but they just want to please the person. Sometimes they're both kind of snapped, and sometimes it's a different person in the relationship than you would expect is the one who's actually driving the behavior. Some of them like involve people like that would just shock the audience. So we really want to make this into a full series. But for right now, as a special, Valentine's Day was coming up. Great way to celebrate Valentine's Day with the homicidal couple. Yeah.
You know what? You look at your partner and be like, you know what? You don't piss me off nearly as much as I thought you would.
Yeah, you're actually quite a charmer. Yes.
Exactly.
By the way, you could do Very Scary Siblings and do it with Paul.
Oh, that's a good one. Very Scary Siblings.
Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Paul.
Paul's so nice, though.
Paul should do it about me and Mark being tough on him. He'd be the one. I'm Paul Wahlberg, and this is Very Scary Siblings.
Episode
Mark
1.
and Donnie harass me all the time.
Yeah. Exactly.
As you write your life story, you're far from finished. Are you looking to close the book on your job? Maybe turn a page in your career? Be continued at the Georgetown University School of Continuing Studies. Our professional master's degrees and certificates are designed to meet you where you are and take you where you want to go. At Georgetown SCS, the learning never stops, and neither do you. Write your next chapter. Be continued at scs.georgetown.edu/podcast.
Get ready for epic family fun at Capital One Arena. January 24th through January 26th, it's the Monster Jam. Bigger trucks, bigger stunts, and even bigger thrills. Then on February 14th, WWE takes over with electrifying action and your favorite superstars live in the ring. Don't miss the Harlem Globetrotters on March 8th, a slam dunk of fun for everyone. Tickets are on sale now at CapitalOneArena.com. Don't wait, grab your seats tonight and secure memorable moments for your whole family.
Well, so I have a fun idea and a game. All right, I'm going to give you famous couples. You need to tell me which one you would rather hang out with.
Okay.
And listen, it doesn't mean that both people are garbage or both people are great. It's just who we would rather hang out, like who just seems like a better time, All
right.
Some people.
I'm interested to hear what his answer is, so I'm going to make you go first.
We don't even know the
couples.
I know.
Exactly.
Okay. The first one, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Out of the, as a couple in general, or is it
this couple?
Travis.
Which one? Travis.
Travis.
Okay.
Travis.
For sure, Travis.
Yeah. I like Travis. We've interviewed him a few times when Jenny was on Sirius. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny, right? George and Amal Clooney.
Oh, probably Amal.
Yeah, I'm going with Amal too.
Yep.
Okay.
George is cool, but
I'd pick her brain though. I like what she does and all that kind of stuff. So I like her brain.
Prince Charles and Lady Diana, God rest her soul. She's just dead, but just in theory.
Oh my God, Lady Diana.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
William and Kate.
Oh, definitely. Well, I don't know now. It would have been, see, it's hard to say.
You know what I heard?
I'm going with William.
I heard that they
William
like
too.
reality TV shows.
Ooh.
I know. That changes it up, huh?
It does.
I can't believe you're splitting these couples. I thought it was going to be like
Who would be
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift or Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Like that. And then we choose the
That's
couple
too
we'd rather
easy.
hang with.
No,
Yeah, it is
it's
too
too
easy.
easy.
That is too easy. You're
Yeah.
right. That one's way too easy. No,
Yeah.
we got to go with the future king. We got to go with the future
for
king.
sure.
Okay. Well, then, of course, I have to ask Harry and Meghan.
Definitely not Meghan. So, Harry. How do we not love Harry?
Kate.
Well, Harry's into sports. You could talk to him about polo.
That's true.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
I'll go with Harry. That's fine.
Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Wait, are they still a couple?
No,
but it just in theory.
I would say Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I'd say Brad Pitt.
I know. I
Angelina
feel like that
scares me.
too.
Yeah.
I feel like she's not funny. Am I wrong about this?
No, I think that you're absolutely right about that. I think would be stale and too proper. And I mean, then again, she did like have blood tattoos with Billy Bob and shit like that. So, but I don't know. She just seems not my speed.
Yeah.
I'm going to back up one.
Yeah.
And I think we have to think about this in this context.
All right.
Some of these we got to split up.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm going to go back and pick Meghan Markle over Harry.
Okay.
You can get the intel on Harry, and I can get it on Meghan, and we come back.
Oh,
and
good
compare
point.
notes.
Oh, that's a great point.
And
Great point.
it's hard to gauge. Sometimes people just, having grown up in the spotlight and, had people assume one thing about who I am as a person and the media write things and stuff like that. Sometimes I have a soft spot for people who are, or I have my own curiosity. I like to make my own decision on what I think about someone. I don't like to be told by popular opinion or the media or comments on social media about, what to think about somebody, right? I like to find out for myself. So in this instance, Meghan Markle could be accurately portrayed in the media or one of the most misunderstood people in the media. So I'd say, all right, well, I'd find out for myself. And she could find out about Harry for herself, and we combine notes and we say, all right, it's all true, or, they're actually okay.
I like that Donnie gets so deep into thinking
Well, also,
about.
I'm like, you just buzzkilled my game, but that's fine.
What do you mean? Why? Was I supposed to not?
Well, I
pick
really
Meghan?
need to know somebody before. No, this is like hypothetical. Okay.
All right, well, hypothetically, I wouldn't pick either of them. I told you that. You
Okay,
made
but
me
no,
pick
that's
one.
totally fair. Totally fair. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra.
I interviewed Priyanka and I liked her, so I'd say her.
I'm going with the Jonas. I like those guys.
I know. I feel like he's funny. Okay, two
New
more.
Kids on the Block played broomball against the Jonas Brothers.
Who won?
Broomball.
I don't know.
It's like hockey with a broomstick.
Oh.
Very
you guys
bizarre.
win?
But it was a
Did
good
you
time.
win?
They were good kids. I
Did
liked
you
them.
guys win?
But New Kids won, yeah. Jordan Knight was really good at broomball, surprisingly.
Oh, really? Good for him.
Well, that's some takeaway.
Yeah.
Did you ask him about the purity rings they used to wear as kids?
I did not.
You
No,
did
I,
not.
no.
Oh,
I don't even know what you're talking about, and I wouldn't have asked them anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
ask him.
Well, you need an earpiece for me and me to
When we hang out with
chime in.
them, I'll ask them.
Yeah, ask him about it. Last two, Oprah Winfrey and Stedman Graham. Who would you rather hang out with?
At this point, well, I'd like to have a conversation with Oprah again.
Yeah. Stedman seems maybe a little bit more quiet. Sometimes that's fun. Sometimes that's boring.
Unless he's like in a mood to tell all, I'd still say Oprah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
See, can I just pick Oprah's best friend and I'll just go with
Oh,
Gail?
she's fun too. She seems
I'll
fun.
just go with Gail King.
Yeah.
I like Gail.
Here's the last of the couples. Liza Minnelli and David Guest.
Liza Minnelli.
Yeah, Liza Minnelli, because
Yeah.
she's really funny on
She's
Arrested
funny.
Development.
We're
Yeah.
binge watching Arrested Development, and it's the greatest.
Among other things.
Well, I live right near the banana stand.
No way.
What?
Yes, I do.
Is
I
it
do.
there?
It's there. I'll take a picture.
What?
No way.
George Michael and Maybe are there working right now?
They're not there, but that stand is there. And when you come to visit
Holy
me, we'll
shit.
go.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Oh my God, that's
Maybe we
amazing.
can go
There you
and bump
go.
into Gob.
Exactly. Lastly, I want to talk to people about your makeup for a minute.
I would love
There
that.
are 3 products in Formless Beauty that I love that I want to tell the good people listening that they need to get. One is, of course, the Master Brush Set.
Isn't it great? It's the best.
I use it every day.
I love
the
it.
second thing, the Dream Lip Gloss. Love it. Use it all the time. And so do my kids too. By the way, those of you who are listening who have daughters, it's a great product that your girls can use and you're not going to worry about it.
You've been such a good supporter, and I'm so grateful for people that have bought Formless Beauty. Like, we're growing little by little, and it's a passion product. It's basically, if you guys don't know, I've poured my heart and soul into making a very clean brand because I don't trust anybody anymore. And they get to use that label clean on a bunch of products. And there's no regulation on makeup. It's been over 80 years since they regulated makeup. So they get to use that word and it's not true. So I wanted to make the real deal because I have so many allergies. I don't want to have cancer. So many people I know are getting diagnosed so young. So I'm like, let me make the cleanest brand I can. So daughters, moms can feel good about their daughters wearing it. And we can feel good about not having endocrine disruptors in our makeup. So that's my Formless Beauty.
Yeah.
Pitch.
She's very dedicated to it, which is great too. And we've been together 10 years. You'd think in some ways 10 years is a very long time. In other ways, it's very fast. But she's had other endeavors and I support all of them. She started a clothing line. She started a vodka line. She's done this and that. This one was different right out of the gate. You know, I mean, I would buy her sewing machines for her clothing line. I would support her in any way that I could. But this was the first time I was like, okay, yeah, this could be like I would invest in this company. Just everything about it, her level of commitment to it, her dedication, watching her, she's like, I'm starting this company. I'm like, here's the first few products. And she's like, okay, I don't approve any of them. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, well, the thing is all natural and it meets all the criteria that I want to be the cleanest, healthiest makeup in the world. But you have to attach it to this, and that company doesn't make clean things, so I can't use it. What good am I going to? It's like, if she invented a hair clip-ons, like a weave or whatever, but the clips were, toxic. Well, I can't use the clips.
I'm very paranoid.
Every detail.
Well, the reason why is too is I want to leave behind a company someday when I'm old and say we did something to make the world a better place or make things better because a clothing line and a vodka line don't make the world better. But I feel like I can do that with skincare and makeup and look at little girls trying on makeup and know that they're not going to get their hormones fucked up. So I'm grateful if anyone just checks it out and supports.
Well, tell everybody where they can watch this great new series and all the people that are listening that love true crime. It is so up your alley. So up your alley.
Discovery ID.
Yeah.
And it's
Investigation Discovery, Sunday, February 2nd.
February 2nd.
8 to 10 p.m. is the 2-hour season finale of Very Scary People. 10 p.m. is the premiere of Very Scary Lovers.
And then where can people buy your great makeup products?
If they go to formlessbeauty.com, that's FORMLESS, formlessbeauty.com.
Formlessbeauty.com. That's the jingle that I wrote. I wrote that jingle.
I know, you have to do a jingle. That's what you're good for. That's why she married you, is for jingles.
Yeah, exactly.
Jingle jangle all day long. Jingle jangle. Okay, so your homework is to check out Six Nations on Netflix. Airs this week. You're going to love it.
Oh,
Anything else? Anything else we should watch?
Okay, there's this one story. It's The Curious Case of, which is always also
it's on ID. It's
Discovery.
on ID as well, yeah.
Okay, there's this one case where there is a girl that went missing in 1981 when she was 13 years old.
Holy shit.
It's a bonker story.
It's a curious case. That's why it's a curious case.
It's the curious
That's
case.
really cool.
So,
yeah, that show looks
that
incredible. Looks incredible.
It's good.
Wow, okay, good.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much for your time, and go back and enjoy the warm Chicago January sun, right? Is that where you are right now?
It's a summer 25 degrees today, so we're actually enjoying it. It's up. That's a 400% increase from the temperature just 2 days ago.
Yeah. Are you going to stay there or are you going to leave? No, your family's there, so you'll stay, right?
Yeah, I'm fine. We don't know.
We love it here.
We love it. We can't imagine. When we go, we should go somewhere warm. And then we're not going anywhere.
Well, you could move here near the banana stand.
That's true.
That is true.
The amazing Kate Casey.
I want to thank my great guests, Jenny and Donnie, and remind you to click subscribe, leave a 5-star review. Make sure that when you go to the reviews, you scroll down and then you'll see the 5 stars pop up and then you can leave your review. Also, check out my What to Watch list at katecasey.substack.com. Bonus episodes by going to Patreon, patreon.com/Kate Casey. And then also check me out on social media. I'm on Instagram at KCCA, TikTok, it's Kate Casey, and Twitter Threads, and Blue Sky at KCC. And check back for all new episodes.
Everyone out there should listen to Small Town Murder. You really should, mainly because you never know who's next door. And that's the point of this show, really. You never know who is next door. You never know what's going to happen on Small Town Murder. That's what makes it so wonderful. The only thing you do know is that people are going to die, and we're probably going to make jokes about it. That's it. That's all we can promise you. We dig into these towns. We see what makes them tick, from local legends to scandals they may have had. And, of course, the biggest scandals of all, horrible murders that take place there. And we put our, what I feel is a completely appropriate comedic spin on the whole thing. And you know you need a laugh right now. So get in there, listen to Small Town Murder. Follow Small Town Murder on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Small Town Murder early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.